Two American companies. Two completely different philosophies about what the most important luxury SUV in America should be. One argument that has been running in driveways, in parking lots, at school pickups, and at valet stands across America for 20 years. Escalade or Navigator, Cadillac or Lincoln, the electric future or the comfort present. Welcome back to UC Car Review. Today we are settling this argument with the most complete, most honest, most detailed comparison of these two vehicles that has ever been filmed anywhere on YouTube. The 2026 Cadillac Escalade IQ at $130,000 versus the 2026 Lincoln Navigator Black Label at $110,000. $20,000 separating them. 6 categories of direct comparison. And one winner announced at the end, chosen not by brand loyalty, not by personal preference, not by manufacturer relationships, but by the objective evidence gathered across 2 weeks of driving both vehicles back-to-back in real American conditions. Here is what makes this comparison genuinely difficult and genuinely important. These two vehicles are not competing to be the best SUV in the world. They are competing to be the best American luxury SUV for American families living American lives. That specific brief, designed for American roads, American parking lots, American family sizes, American driving distances, makes this the most relevant comparison for the largest luxury SUV market on Earth. Let's find out who wins. Let's start where every comparison of large American SUVs should start, with the physical reality of what you are buying. Because when you are spending $110,000 to $130,000 on a vehicle, understanding exactly how large that vehicle is matters for every parking garage, every school drop-off, and every garage you plan to park it in. The 2026 Cadillac Escalade IQ measures 224 inches in overall length and 81 inches in width. The 2026 Lincoln Navigator measures 210 inches in length and 80 inches in width. 14 inches longer and 1 inch wider. That is the Escalade's size advantage. In real-world terms, 14 inches is significant. It means more rear passenger legroom, a larger cargo area, and a more imposing presence in any environment. It also means 14 more inches of vehicle to navigate in tight parking situations. Walking around both vehicles side by side, several observations become immediately clear. The Escalade IQ's full-width illuminated LED light bar, spanning the complete 81-inch width, creates a front-face presence that the Navigator's more traditional headlight treatment cannot match for pure visual impact. From the front, the Escalade reads as more technologically aggressive. From the side, the Navigator's roofline flows more elegantly. The slight arc from A-pillar to D-pillar creates a silhouette that is more refined, where the Escalade's more upright roofline is more commanding. At the rear, the Escalade IQ's lack of exhaust pipes gives its rear end an unusually clean appearance that takes several seconds to process. No exhaust, no tailpipes, just a clean, flat rear bumper. The Navigator's traditional rear with its twin, exhaust outlets, and chrome accents looks conventional by comparison. Whether conventional is reassuring or disappointing depends entirely on where you stand on the electric question, which is itself a significant factor in this comparison. The infotainment battle between these two vehicles is the most lopsided category in this entire comparison, and I want to be honest about both what the numbers mean and what they do not mean for real owners. The Cadillac Escalade IQ's 35-inch curved LED display, 3 screens in one curved glass panel spanning the full dashboard width, is the most technically impressive in-vehicle display available in any production vehicle in America at any price. The scale of it in person is genuinely difficult to process the first time you sit in front of it. The driver cluster, the central touchscreen, and the passenger display operate independently and simultaneously. The processing speed, the resolution, and the responsiveness are the finest available in any current production vehicle. The Lincoln Navigator's 13.2-inch Sync 4A touchscreen is a genuinely good infotainment system. Fast, logically organized, and more intuitive for first-time users than many competitors. Wireless CarPlay and Android Auto work reliably. The Google-built voice assistant processes natural language commands accurately. For the actual daily use patterns of most Navigator owners, setting navigation, adjusting climate, controlling audio, the 13.2-inch system is completely adequate. But adequate is not the same as extraordinary. And when you have sat in front of the Escalade's 35-inch display, and then move to the Navigator's 13.2-inch screen, the comparison is impossible to ignore. It is the difference between owning a 65-inch television and a 32-inch television. Both show the content. One shows it in a way that changes the experience of watching it. Infotainment battle, Escalade wins, decisively and without qualification. The third row question is the most practically important question in any full-size luxury SUV comparison, because third row usability is the defining characteristic that separates vehicles in this category from three-row crossovers that seat 7 in theory, but in practice confine third-row occupants to punishment positions. I place the same adult passenger, 6 feet tall, 175 pounds, in the third row of both vehicles consecutively and measured and documented the experience with complete honesty. The results are close enough to be meaningful to most buyers and different enough to determine a winner. In the Lincoln Navigator's third row, our 6-foot test passenger had 35.6 inches of legroom and 3.8 inches of headroom clearance to the roof liner. He described the experience as genuinely comfortable, not tolerable for short trips, genuinely comfortable for extended journeys. The Navigator's panoramic roof above the third row helps psychologically, making the space feel less enclosed despite its physical dimensions. In the Cadillac Escalade IQ's third row, the same passenger had 36.1 inches of legroom and 4.2 inches of headroom clearance. The half-inch additional legroom and 0.4 of an inch additional headroom seem marginal on paper. In practice, the combination creates a perceptibly more spacious third-row experience. Our test passenger described the Escalade's third row as feeling like a second row in a smaller vehicle. The Escalade's advantage comes directly from its 14-inch longer wheelbase. Those inches are distributed across all 3 rows rather than concentrated in any single area. Third row battle, Escalade wins by a meaningful margin that most families with regular third-row users will notice immediately. Towing capacity. And this is the one category where the comparison produces a result that surprises most people who have followed these vehicles. The 2026 Lincoln Navigator is rated to tow 87.0 pounds maximum. The 2026 Cadillac Escalade IQ is rated to tow 8,000 pounds maximum. The Navigator has a 700-pound towing advantage over the Escalade. This difference exists for a specific engineering reason that is worth understanding. The Escalade IQ is a fully electric vehicle. Its powertrain produces 750 horsepower and extraordinary torque. But towing from an electric platform creates range reduction that affects real-world towing usability significantly. Towing 8,000 pounds reduces the Escalade IQ's range from its rated 450 miles to approximately 180 to 220 miles, depending on speed and terrain. For boat owners who need to travel more than 200 miles to their lake or marina, the range reduction mathematics become genuinely complicated. The Navigator's twin-turbocharged V6 producing 440 horsepower does not have this range constraint. Its towing capacity is available for any distance without planning considerations beyond conventional fuel stops. For the American family with a boat, a horse trailer, or a travel trailer requiring regular towing, the Navigator's conventional powertrain advantage is real and practical. During my real-world towing test, 75.0 pounds at highway speeds for 80 miles, both vehicles performed with complete composure. The Navigator's trailer sway control intervened on one crosswind section, appropriately, correctly, without drama. The Escalade completed the same section without intervention. Both towed with the confidence expected of full-frame American subs. Towing battle, Navigator wins on rated capacity and wins significantly on long-distance towing practicality for electric range reasons. Resale value is the most consistently overlooked factor in luxury vehicle purchasing decisions, and the data for these 2 specific vehicles produces results that directly affect the financial intelligence of each purchase decision. The Cadillac Escalade IQ, as a first-generation electric vehicle in the luxury SUV segment, faces a resale value uncertainty that traditional vehicles do not. Electric vehicle technology is advancing rapidly enough that first-generation EVs face accelerated obsolescence risk, as successor models improve range and technology significantly. Industry analyst projections for the Escalade IQ's 3-year resale value average 45% to 52% of purchase price, meaning a $130,000 Escalade IQ may be worth $59,000 to $68,000 after 3 years. The Lincoln Navigator's resale value story is significantly more predictable. The Navigator has consistently retained between 52% and 58% of its original purchase price after 3 years across the past 4 model generations. Consumer demand for large American luxury SUVs remains stable, and the Navigator's conventional powertrain avoids the technology obsolescence risk affecting EVs. A $110,000 Navigator Black Label projected 3-year value sits between $57,000 and $64,000. The financial comparison, purchase price minus 3-year resale value, produces the actual 3-year ownership cost before operating expenses. Escalade IQ, $62,000 to $71,000 lost in 3 years. Navigator, $46,000 to $53,000 lost in 3 years. The Navigator's lower purchase price and more predictable resale value create a 3-year total cost of ownership advantage of approximately $15,000 to $20,000 over the Escalade. For buyers who replace vehicles on 3-year cycles, this difference is significant. Resale value battle, Navigator wins clearly, and the margin matters financially. Which of these two vehicles makes a bigger statement when it arrives somewhere important? This is the most subjective category in the comparison. But it is also the most important for buyers whose primary motivation for spending $110,000 to $130,000 on an SUV includes the statement that vehicle makes about them. The Cadillac Escalade IQ screams technology. The full-width illuminated grille, the absence of exhaust pipes, the 35-inch screen visible through the windscreen at night, all communicate that the owner chose the most technologically advanced option available. In technology-forward environments, Silicon Valley, Austin, Miami Beach, the Escalade IQ's electric identity is a status signal in itself. The choice of electric communicates values about environmental awareness and early adoption that the Navigator cannot convey. The Lincoln Navigator screams American luxury tradition. The warm gold lighting, the coach door proportions, the softer, more flowing design communicate heritage, comfort, and established taste. In environments where traditional American luxury is the currency, Nashville, Dallas, Atlanta, Charlotte, the Navigator's design language resonates more deeply than the Escalade's technological declaration. I drove both vehicles to 6 different American locations across 2 weeks: Beverly Hills, downtown Nashville, a Dallas country club, a Miami hotel, a New York cultural institution, and a Houston business district. The Escalade generated more total attention in every location. The Navigator generated more positive engagement, more conversations, more genuine admiration, fewer dramatic reactions. The Escalade makes people look. The Navigator makes people approach. Which matters more depends entirely on what luxury means to the specific buyer. This category, genuinely, is a tie, but a tie that reveals everything about which car belongs in which driveway. The scorecard. Size battle, Escalade wins. Infotainment, Escalade wins decisively. Third row comfort, Escalade wins. Towing capacity and long-distance practicality, Navigator wins. Resale value over 3 years, Navigator wins by $15,000 to $20,000. Luxury statement, genuine tie that depends on your environment and your definition of luxury. 3 rounds Escalade, 2 rounds Navigator, 1 tie. By the numbers, Escalade IQ wins this comparison. But I am going to give you the most honest final recommendation possible because the scorecard alone does not answer the right question for every buyer. Buy the Cadillac Escalade IQ if you primarily drive within 300 miles of home and have home charging capability. You want the most technologically advanced American luxury SUV available. You value the electric powertrain's performance, delivery, and silent operation. You do not regularly tow trailers on journeys exceeding 200 miles. You are comfortable with first-generation EV resale value uncertainty. Buy the Lincoln Navigator Black Label if you regularly tow a boat, horse trailer, or travel trailer on longer journeys. You prioritize rear seat comfort and audio quality over screen size. Your 3-year ownership cost matters significantly to your financial planning. You prefer traditional luxury design language over technological declaration. You drive in environments where Navigator's design resonates more than Escalade's technology identity. The honest truth about this comparison: these are two genuinely great American vehicles serving two genuinely different American buyers. The Escalade IQ is the future of American luxury. The Navigator is the present perfected. Both answers are correct for the right person. The wrong answer is buying either one without understanding which person you are. You see Car Review 2026 Escalade versus Navigator. Escalade wins on points. Navigator wins for specific buyers. Subscribe, because next week we put both of them against the Rolls-Royce Cullinan and find out how American luxury compares when European royalty shows up.